Hi, everybody. This is Brock Malinowski with Apex Real Estate Consultants. I hope everybody had a good New Year's Day and they're ready to have a great 2020. I wanted to send out this video, the first one of 2020, to talk about probably the most common question that I get, and that is how do I go about getting my new home paid for? So there's a ton of options, and we're sending out this email today to kind of cover pretty much 99% of the financing options that get used for purchases out there. We cover everything from 0% down options to paying all cash. So just to kind of quickly run through everything on there, if you're looking for a 0% down way to get your home financed, the most common one that I've used would be the VA loan. That loan specifically applies to veterans that are eligible for the loan. The VA loan is a really awesome option. Like I mentioned, it requires 0% down. The biggest disadvantage, I guess, for the VA loan would be that obviously you have to have been a former veteran in order to qualify, and also there is an extra inspection that goes along with that. The VA does their own inspection, usually nothing too crazy, but it is just another thing to keep in mind if you're going to use that loan option. Another loan option that affords 0% down for people would be the USDA loan product. That's another really awesome loan program. It has fairly loose credit requirements, not too much really different than a conventional mortgage with it, other than the fact that you can only qualify in certain areas with that. And since it's a U.S. Department of Agriculture loan, those are generally only in rural areas. In this area, there's nothing in Cuyahoga County that I'm aware of that would qualify for USDA, but there would be some options in Medina, Lorain, Geauga, and some of the other surrounding counties. So if you're looking in those areas, contact us and we could look into that USDA loan option for you. The next loan option that would be a lower down payment option would be an FHA loan. The FHA loan is probably the most commonly used low down payment option out there. That one's going to be 3.5% down. The FHA loan's a really great option. Most lenders offer the FHA loan. Obviously, like we said, it's low down payment at 3.5%. The biggest disadvantage with the FHA loan, there's a couple. Just like with the VA loan, you have that extra inspection required. Also, with the FHA loan, they recently made a change to it that you're no longer able to drop the PMI, which is your mortgage insurance. So with FHA loans, the PMI is a lifetime of the loan. Most people that try to get out of that end up having to refinance out of the loan for the FHA product. After that, you'd get into more of your conventional loans. Conventional loans right now are starting usually around 5 to 10%, and obviously they just go up from there. So the only thing that really makes a conventional loan different than the VA, USDA, FHA option is that these loans are not backed by a government entity. So the bank's taking on more risk. So obviously when they take on more risk, they probably want you to have a little more equity in the home right away. That's why the down payments are usually a little bit higher. If you can find one for 5% down, that's a great option. It's only 1.5% more than an FHA would be. But in order to be really feeling good about qualifying for a conventional, I'd say to plan on about 10% down. After that, we obviously have purchasing a home completely cash. If you don't need any mortgage at all, you can go 100% cash, and that's obviously an awesome option if you have the cash available. The biggest disadvantage to that would obviously be you have to have that cash available, and most people don't have $200,000 sitting around that they can pull out and use to buy a home. If you do, though, there are advantages to that. You'll probably end up paying a little bit less than somebody that's going to finance the home with a mortgage. You can also close a lot quicker. I've done closings with cash in under a week versus a mortgage. You're generally going to be looking at a 30 to 45 day closing period. And with cash, you have a higher likelihood of getting your offer accepted just because you won't have the same hurdles that people who are taking out a mortgage are going to have. I did include something in the email as well about some of the non-traditional financing methods that are out there, which would be like seller financing, rent to own, lease options, things like that. If you are considering that option, reach out to me. Let's talk about it one-on-one about your particular situation. Just kind of long story short on those, Typically, they don't work out in a market like this where, it's still kind of a seller's market out there. Typically, those are more likely to be had when there's not a lot of buyers in the market. Right now, there's plenty of people looking for homes, so sellers generally don't have too hard of a time finding their buyer. So those non-traditional methods don't work out as much, but depending on your situation, it could be a great option. So hopefully this video helps break down some of the options out there. If you want to read through the full email, there'll be more information out there. And obviously you can always contact me or my team as well if you wanted to talk about different financing options. We have a ton of great mortgage loan officers with different specialties that we work with, so we can kind of figure out your situation, get you in touch with that right mortgage loan officer for you, and get you started towards buying your home in 2020. So the best way to get a hold of us is going to be emailing me. My email's brock@apexteamohio.com. You can also call or text me at 216-309-0567. And if your New Year's resolution is to buy a new home in 2020, I'd love to be the person to help make that happen. So I hope to hear from you soon, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.